What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. If you're new, what's up? Hello, my name is Neo. Nice to meet you.
Psych, now let me stop. What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video. If you're new, what's up? Hello, my name is Neo. Nice to meet you. So, if you already have read this title, if you've already been on my Instagram, which is Neo_4_life, you would know that Friday Night Frights is back. Alright, so if you've been a follower of my channel or just of me in general for a very long time, it hasn't been that long, it's about been like a year or whatever, you would know October of 2019 I started a series called Friday Night Frights, and all throughout October my plan and intention was to post videos regarding Friday Night Frights. It was going to be like a compilation of videos such as like storytelling of like scary stories, reacting to scary trailers, reacting to scary videos in general, the whole shebang. So that didn't really happen like I planned for it to happen. A lot of things just went down, and so things did not go in a sequence. So I decided I was going to bring it back to my channel and just make it a series regular here on the channel. So you'll be getting Friday Night Frights on some Fridays. I'll let you know later details regarding of like how often I'll post it, but Friday Night Frights expected on a Friday night, just period, point blank. But yeah, I'm not going to take too much time. We're going to get right into this video. All right, so today's topic, or today's overarching theme, is urban legends. Now, if you're new to the whole urban legend thing, urban legends are kind of stories of how like Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster came to be, and those stories of how people have seen them. But when you go deeper and deep dive into scary stories, you'll find a lot of different urban legends that you probably have never heard of that are actually truly terrifying. The ones we're going to talk about today are called the Black-Eyed Children. Now, the Black-Eyed Children are special children that usually come to people's houses in pairs. You'll find them sometimes pretty much in the middle of the night. They'll either come to your house, or if you're in your car, they'll come to your car door. And they'll always come in an event of trying to come into your place, like come into your house, come into your car, whatever. And so when you first see them, they're like,
"Can I come in?"
Now, mind you, most times they're always looking down. They're never like looking straight at you at first, or their eyes are like covered by like a jacket or whatever, and you can't really see them. So you never really know that their eyes are black until pretty much that second time, or when they try to move or shift or whatever, and be like,
"Can I come in?"
So basically, they'll come to your door, and they'll be like, "Can I come in?" Their eyes are pitch black. When I say pitch black, like close your eyes. Now think about that, but blacker. Jet black, obsidian black, period. Like blacker than black. Okay, they're black. So these children, they'll come to your door, ask to come in. Now, if you let them in, there's really no telling what they'll do. Some people have been told stories about things that they have done or whatever when they came into your house, but most stories that you hear, you don't hear them because people don't let them in. There are always stories of when people don't let them in or don't give them what they want, because they'll ask, "Can I come in?" or "Can I get a glass of water?" Stuff like that. So most stories that you'll hear is like, "Oh, can I come in?"
"No, you cannot. I don't even know you, blah, blah, blah. Let me call your parents," whatever.
Stuff like that. But people that have let them in, stories have pretty much not been told. With the Black-Eyed Children, when you don't let them in, they kind of get a very, very vicious vibe, like a sinister vibe when you're with them. People have said that when you're around them, you actually get really like nervous, your heart, starts to beat fast, you get sweaty, sometimes you become nauseous. It's just different symptoms that people get when you're actually around them. So most people don't even know like what they are. They think, oh, they're like just children with black eyes, or demonic children, or whatever, this, that, the third. I don't know. Don't really know what it is, but all I know is they're scary as hell, and we're gonna talk about them, do a little story time. Alright, so this one is called The Midnight Caller. It almost felt like a dream. I woke up to my dog Lucy barking. She was upright on the bed when my husband and I were sleeping with our 22-month-old daughter, staring at our door like an unknown stranger was out there rummaging around. I thought she was just freaking out over a house noise. We'd all had her for only 3 months, and she was still a little puppy. It could have been anything. Our roommate, a creep from the house settling, the awnings moving outside in the breeze. I wasn't too concerned initially. I decided the best bet would be to open the door and show her nothing was there. It sounds a bit silly, but it's what we do with our daughter when she gets scared, and I figured it should work with the puppy. So I opened the door, and she raced to the front door. She stood there, gnarling and snarling at the door. It was an angry, violent growl, one I had never heard her make before. I looked groggily at her and opened the baby gate, blocking the doorway, planning to open the door and show her everything was okay. The second my hand reached for the door, Lucy went wild. She started barking and jumping toward me, and when I touched the metal, she suddenly changed her temper. She whimpered, almost like she was afraid and backing down. As her mannerisms changed, so did mine. I wasn't calm anymore. My heart was racing and sinking at the same time. I had been flooded with the mixture of fear and dread. I looked through the peephole. I can't explain why I looked, but I did. Outside were two kids. One was just a smidgen. Smidgen? Who writes like that? First off, who writes like that? That's too much. Too much. Let's go back. One was just a smidgen shorter than me and didn't look much younger. I was 21, and she looked to be 16 or 17. She was slender and pale. Her hair was a light shade of honey blonde, and she wore it long, about mid-back, with long, thin, blunt bangs in front that covered most of her eyes. That's a lot of detail, like I can't remember all that. She wore jeans, a light wash that's popular right now, and a thin-looking olive-colored pullover hoodie. She held the hand of a small girl who looked to be about 3 or 4 in the same style jeans and a button-down ivory cardigan. The smaller one looked at the floor shyly, but had the same shade of hair tied back in a ponytail. She had a stuffed toy under her free arm and was identical to the one my daughter has. I don't know why I said sister. As was their style of dress. Had it not been for the feeling of overwhelming dread and fear, I probably would have asked these children in and given them some tea or hot chocolate to get them out of the bitter cold. Something about them seemed off. At this point, I hadn't made any noise. I hadn't shushed the dog or grumbled. Nothing. I hadn't turned on any lights. These kids had no indicators I was at the door. The older one spoke. She had a voice that was mature, confident, strong, and accentless. She held her head tilted downward, and I couldn't see her eyes. She said,
"You have to use your phone."
I stood, fear and frozen. Dyslexia. I stood frozen in fear. How did she know I was there? She raised her head to face me directly, and that's when I saw her eyes. There was a reason I couldn't see them through her bangs before. They were black, or midnight blue, or dark purple. They were otherworldly, she said.
"Our mother is worried."
As someone who's always been interested in creepy stories, I knew what she was the second she looked at me through the door. I've never been one to believe in these things, and as a staunch atheist and skeptic when it comes to the paranormal, I had written off many ghost stories from friends and family members eager to tell their tale. I didn't believe it. Still, I couldn't rationalize my way out of this. I was standing with nothing but a thin wooden door between me and a black-eyed kid. There was no questioning what was right in front of me. I did not answer her. Slowly and silently, I backed away from the door, Lucy cowering at my ankles. She kept talking. "Just let us in to use your phone." I took another step back, and with this step, the tone changed. At first, she seemed polite. When I took the second step back, she became commanding, almost hostile.
"We're not gonna hurt you. If you wanted to do that, we would have broken in. I'll ask you again. May I come in and use your phone?"
"No, you can't come in. I'm going to sleep." Lucy snarled at the door, and I inched backward, though something inside me seemed to be slowly pulling me back towards the door. I'm running away. It wasn't a physical pulling so much as a subconscious need to go back and let them in. I'm not it's the middle of the night, and you over here letting some people with black eyes, children with black eyes in. Call the police. Call the Ghostbusters. Call somebody. Jesus, no. I got to my room, covered up the window, locked the door, and sat there in the dim light of the nightlight. I heard her call me back to the door once more, and then quiet. I didn't go back to sleep that night, and I haven't slept right ever since. I know from reading about them that the black-eyed kids can't just come in without permission. I know they haven't hurt anyone, but I still fear I'll be the exception. When I told my husband, he said it was just a dream. He keeps telling me to forget it, but this lingering feeling of sadness, this dread when the house is silent at night, this fear of a knock at the door, this tells me otherwise. So this is crazy. It's very crazy. Alright, so I'm going to read this next one. This is going to be the last one I read, and we're going to finish this video up. But this one is called Bus Encounter. I was riding the bus back home after work. It was about 1 a.m. I'm a security guard and often work odd hours. So I'm sitting there, and this guy gets on, sits across from me, and he's wearing a suit, had a briefcase, regular looking guy in his 20s. What struck me about him at first was that he was chewing a cigar, not smoking it. You can't smoke on the bus. So I was just looking at him when he stared out the window and chewed a cigar. And all of a sudden he turned and looked at me. His eyes were pitch black, just as you described. My heart started beating like a mad, that's a bad word, I'm not gonna say it. And I felt my gorge rising. I was starting to panic and I had no idea why. I was just panting. What is that word? That's not even a word. That's not a word. People are making up words on this site, and that's not just not a word. It's a cuss word mixed with a regular word, which is just not a word. Nobody does that. Okay, so he or she was just terrified of this guy. Then he grinned at me, and his teeth were all covered in tobacco bits and brown juice. The cigar clamped between them. I almost screamed, but instead I had the presence of mind to just get up and take the seat right next behind the bus driver, as you should. I calmed down a bit after that, but I kept an eye on the guy. He ended up chatting with some girl that got on, and they were just still talking when I got off. I later convinced myself that he was just trolling me, having fun with a pair of contacts. Now I wonder. Well, first of all, see this one, I think that was a reply to the next one. I'm not sure, it just looks like it's in the list or whatever. But that one just don't sound like, it's not the same story because it's black-eyed children. If this is a whole man in a whole suit, he coming from work, why would he have like really black eyes? Like why would that be? You either hallucinated that Jane was on something, or you did, like you said, he trolling you contacts with. Whatever. I'm gonna link this down below in the description box so that way y'all can go to that link if y'all want to read some more stories from there. But yeah, this stuff is like really, really crazy. It's scary. Black-eyed children are scary. I'm never gonna see one because I do not want to see one. And I'll be damned. But yeah, if you want to read it, it'll be in the description box below. This is the end of this video. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, because a lot of y'all just be scrolling, watching a video, y'all don't like the video. Like the video. There's no reason for you not to like it, so just like it. Simple as that. Simple as that, bro. Simple. So like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. If you're new, thank you for watching. If you like these videos, go back and watch some of my old videos as well. I'm gonna continue to do Friday Night Frights like I said I was gonna do, but you'll also get the regular content like I always post. So just watch out for these videos. Make sure you're following my social medias. Instagram is the most necessary social media that you can follow for me. My Instagram is neo_4_life. So follow that. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace, love, and good vibes. Have a scary night. Peace.